Jordans. The rest of my bread was for re-ing up and recording. Hotel rooms, copping fifths on the weekend. My classmates in baby pools, I'm swimming in the...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to True Radio. Hold up. We got the button right here.
We got new toys in the building.
Oh my goodness. And there are no 12-inch toys this week.
Yes.
Everyone, I just want you to know that.
I'm so glad that I stay away from all of that, man.
Yeah, there's no are you sure, Ken? There's no gigantic dildos in the building tonight. Tonight, folks, it's just us. We have no special guests. And every once in a while, I want to make sure we schedule a show where it's just a squad. Sheeta P's running a little late. She'll get here whenever the fuck she wants because that's what Sheeta P does. First off, I am Black GOP right here, ready to set it off and have a great show. Over here we have CP3. Sir, introduce yourself.
You know, it's CP3, Sports on the Hill Podcast, True Radio Network. It's always going down. Sports and politics. What else is there to say?
And over on the side nigga cam, which I've officially named as the side nigga cam, right? Because it's like a camera on the side, you know what I'm saying? We got Ken DC People's Champ in the building. What's going on, homie?
The champ is here. You
What's
know who it
going
is.
on?
DC's People's Champ, No Spots Podcast. We here.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing True Radio Network right here on WLVS Radio, doing our thing. Real fast, shout out to Jet Radio. We was out there. Me and CP3 was out there in West Virginia.
Had a ball.
After roughly a 6-hour drive,
Yeah,
close
about a
to
6-hour ride. Yeah.
and just got so wasted. And we judged the hip hop contest.
Oh, man.
Folks, I just want to say this before we get started because CP3 is going to start with a sports update, and then we're going to go into all the monkey business happening, in the media. But I want to say this, folks. If you're a new artist, what's happening? So I want to say, I said, did I just open an Amazon account?
By the way, shout out, real quick. By the way, shout out to my man Vam. He's currently a professional wrestler on the indie circuit. Shout out to my brother right there. Much love out in Baltimore. Salute. He out here. He watching your live stream right now, my G.
Nice. What up?
Man. Appreciate it.
What up, folks? What up?
She don't want to wait, dog.
I'm sure.
Somebody did ask.
She'll be here in 45 minutes. But I did want to say though, shout out to Jet Radio, and I do want to say this real fast before CP3 starts with his sports content.
Yes, sir.
Artists, don't be afraid to tell the DJ to either turn your music up or down or turn your mic up or down. That is a classic key to winning a hip hop competition. I just want, even like my favorite big song is Who Shot Ya, right? Even in the beginning of this song, you hear him saying, turn my mic up. So if you feel like even right now, I would say, engineer, turn my mic up. Don't, I'm just saying. But if I felt like it was too low,
Turn me up, Cruz.
I would say it. So to them artists out there that are in these contests, especially for like $1,000 on the line, you gotta own that shit. You gotta own every single second of it. You gotta say, hey, stop my song. Let's start over. Whatever you feel like you have to do to earn that money and that prize. And we have another one coming up at the end of next month. So, folks, and then a bigger announcement like next week. It's gonna y'all
not ready for that one. GOP hit me to that joint on the way up here. I'm like, oh shit.
No,
they ain't ready for that one.
It's not even cool anymore.
Game changer.
Yeah, easily. So real quick button. So what I would say is, artists, make sure you own your stage presence and just say, hey DJ, hold up. Turn my mic up or turn my music down or whatever it was, because I was sitting there watching, like, why wasn't they doing that? I was really perplexed. CP3.
I feel like some of them felt like they were nervous and they didn't feel like they had that authority to do that. Just like I was going to piggyback on that and say, also, if it's 5 people in the crowd or if it's 200 in the crowd, you got to keep that energy up. You got to, get the crowd involved, even if just a few people. You can't just, you only see 5 people, so you're just going to stand in one spot and do your thing. That's not what it's all about. So, like you said, if you have love for it, you got to give that energy if it's 5 or if it's 5,000, because if you're just out there just standing around, that's the way the crowd going to feel, and you're going to get booed off the stage.
If I can interject real quick.
Of course, it's not an interjection. You're on the show.
Well, back a couple of years ago, I used to be heavy into the karaoke scene in Northern Virginia. Shout out to everybody out there.
CP3, this is about to get weird.
It's about to get, no, it's not going to get weird, but it's going to make a point. When you're doing karaoke, it's the same premise. There may be like 5 people in the bar not paying attention to nothing you're doing. But if you go up there and you provide that energy and you provide that entertainment, it's going to make people pay attention because they're going to be like, what is this dude doing? You know, and it's similar in this instance, like especially because it's your own shit. You want people to pay attention to your own shit. So you have to go out there and you have to make sure that you get people's attention. You can't. You have to force it in a lot of times. You have to force people to pay attention to you by doing something to make you get noticed. Period. That's what I used to do. I used to walk up on a stage with a championship belt on and go all around the bars doing songs that I knew like off the top of my head. And guess what? People knew who I was.
You wore the belt to karaoke?
Yes, I did.
That is so tight. That is so tight. That is so tight.
I'm not joking. I did every karaoke show I went to. I had a championship belt on every single time.
The custom one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never knew you did karaoke, Ken.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There's a lot of shit y'all know about.
That's your new name, Karaoke Ken, for now.
Oh, God.
Shout out to the street nigga giving me a name.
You know we got to give you a new name.
You know, and that's one thing I just want to drive home for people that are, you know, now Facebook friends with myself and CP3 from the show. A lot of artists have requested us. So I want to make sure they know that that's my top advice because I'll be judging the next contest as well.
Yes, we will.
And real quick, my man Vam just said, music is a feeling. Artists are trying too hard to get over. The passion comes from the lyrics and how you feel about the music. If that ain't an amen and a hallelujah, I don't know what is.
I would say this, and real fast, we're going to get to Ken, CP3's sports Megadeth thing that he does.
Hey, it's only 4 topics.
but it's like 10 players per topic. That's where it gets hard sometimes.
I gotta give the people what they want, baby.
God damn, we don't even have a guest tonight. We have no time restriction. You know, this is
hey,
rough.
man, it's what we do, man.
We
didn't have Sports on the Hill podcast on this past Monday, so because we took the week off because next week we have the season 4 premiere where we'll be breaking down Capitals, NCAA, and some other things. Probably talk about some baseball. You know, it's that time of the year when we got a lot of sports popping. So we definitely gonna
coming back.
You know what? I do want to stop and announce that we were heard. We did 2 shows when we were out in West Virginia because, you know, shout out to Jet Radio again.
Yes, sir.
And we're right here broadcasting live from WLVS Radio. This is True Radio Network. It's just like it's radio on radio on radio. But our Sunday show, we did a show on Sunday. We were heard by over 23,000 people. How fucking cool is that?
Still can't wrap my head around that. It was just 3 dudes sitting there talking sports, politics, and music, and just shooting the shit. And 23,000 people were sitting there.
Come on, dude. We could fill stadiums with the amount of people that listen to it. Like that's amazing.
Hey, man.
Button.
Word. The beauty of radio.
Word.
CP3, what's going on with the sports, yo?
Oh, boy. It's that, like I just said, it's that beautiful time of the year. Hockey playoffs are right around the corner. Caps just had a nice game last night, defeating Carolina 4-1. Ovi scored his 49th goal of the season, leading the league, one away from 50, about to break another record. If he hits that, I believe become one of only 3 to ever score 50 goals in 10 seasons or more in the league.
That's ridiculous. Well, can Obi stop?
Nah.
God damn.
No.
Get that back-to-back.
Obi cannot stop. He want that back-to-back. He went to the Trump White House and said we doing it again.
I didn't see Obi's button. I feel like every week Obi breaks another record.
That's what he does. He actually tied. I think he's
now
he's number 16 for all time, scoring 656 goals in his career. That dude is just.
He told
that's what
Trump.
They call him the Russian machine that never breaks.
He told Trump and them. He said, "Look, we doing it again."
Bruh,
I'm pretty sure Trump sat there and was like, "I don't know what he's talking about, but it sounds fabulous." It sounds
Let me buy that man a Big Mac.
He probably don't even eat Big Macs. But yeah, Ovi, he's a machine, man. I love that dude, man. He's the heart and soul of this team, and I love that he's been here his whole career, and he's going to retire at Capital, most likely. John Carlson also had 2 points, which gave him 400 career points. He had a goal and an assist. What's his name? Evgeny Kuznetsov. I always had trouble with his name. He
that was funny.
He had 300. Damn it, man! You done threw me off.
That was so funny. Koozie Coop nuts off.
He had 3 assists last night in the win. That gave them a nice cushion. They have a 3-point lead over the Penguins and the Islanders with 5 games remaining in the regular season.
What's his name again?
I'm not saying that name again. I had to force it.
Evgeny Kuznetsov is his name.
There you go, Ken. That's what his name is. I call him Koozie on the show. So
yeah, Koozie.
I was trying to get intelligent Negro over here. All right, leave a nigga alone. I've been reading the dictionary. All right, leave me alone. But they have a matchup against Carolina on Thursday night on the home and home for the final game of their season series. They won the first 3 and looking for the season sweep. Carolina is currently in the first wild card position, trying to hold on to make the playoffs for the first time in, I believe, 12 years. They're the longest tenured team in the league that hasn't made the playoffs in that long. So it's almost that time for playoffs. It's still going to come down to the wire. The Capitals actually play the Islanders the last game of the season, and if anything happens to hiccup in these last 5 games, that last game against the Islanders is going to be very crucial. And you know that Robbie G will be in the building for that game. Go on Facebook Live to give us the nitty gritty on everything behind the scenes. So y'all make sure y'all tune in to the Sports on the Hill podcast page for that.
Here, hashtag Krispy Kreme, Robbie.
Word.
Also, baseball fans, yes, baseball is starting tomorrow. The Nats, yes, sir. The Nats will be starting opening day. Mad Max taking the mound. They're facing the Mets for like the 5th year in a row. I don't know why they keep making that matchup on opening day. Who wants to see the Mets against the Nats on opening? I'm tired of it.
I don't even think Mets fans want to see that
exactly.
shit.
I mean, they're ready to go ahead and throw in the towel already. But, I mean, the season's starting, good time of year, new team, a lot of transition. It's the first time in about 4 or 5 years they've had new players on the team, new blood. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this season pans out, especially with them picking up some of the key pitchers in the free agency, which is going to help their rotation. They're actually going with the 4-man rotation in the bullpen because Hellickson, who was a starter last year, has been moved to the bullpen with them picking up Anibal Sanchez and picking up Patrick Corbin. So
I read that story. I actually like that move.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because, he struggled when he was in the American League. He came over. He had a solid season last year. He got into a little trouble with his fastball, not locating it properly. So, coming out of the bullpen, he's definitely going to be,
Not only that, but also, and I read the story about this, another reason why they put Hellickson in the bullpen and are only going with 4 starters to start the season is to eliminate lengthy rest between starts with the other 4 starters. Because if you have a 5th starter with the way the beginning of the season is shaped out, a lot of your starters are going to have longer rest times between starts than they normally would, which as a pitcher, and me being a former high school pitcher, that could be problematic. If you go out and you pitch and then you have to wait 5+ days to pitch again, it becomes problematic. You lose the rhythm, you lose your momentum, and it could cause a lot of issues. So that's another reason why I like the move, is because with the beginning of the season, you don't have those long rest times between starts for your 4 starters, and then as the season picks up and then the games start to become normal, then become normalized, then you can go to 5 starters and still have that normal 3 days rest, which is what's typically normal for a starting pitcher, is 3 days of rest.
I don't know. I'm not really sold on that because to me, Martinez's issue was with the pitching staff and knowing when to pull him out and when to leave him in. So as long as he's willing to adjust if he sees the system isn't working. Last year, that was my issue, that he knew what he was doing wasn't working, but he continued to do it, and you see where it got the team. So as long as he's willing to adjust if he sees that it's not working, I don't have a problem with it because, we have a new situation. So I'm not going to frown on it, but we'll see how it goes. That's all I'm gonna say about that because I'm not really sold on Martinez anyway as a manager.
And in my opinion is I don't know who any of these people are. So I just want to say that just because the guy's name is Martinez, I want to say Latino lives matter, and let's not be racist against the Spanish guy.
Move on. Thank you.
I'm not being racist.
I think you're a racist, girl. I think you're a racist because his last name's Martinez.
I'm not even going to touch that. I've already been told that I have white privilege as a black man this week, so I'm not even going to.
And maybe it's true. Maybe it just shows.
Hold on, no,
maybe it just button. We're not timing out. I object.
No, CP3. You got to tell me this story off air, my brother.
CP3.
Just go to my page.
CP3 has been
proven.
Oh, you
mean that dude that looks like he shot the rainbow?
Yeah.
That nigga?
CP3.
Fuck out of here. Fuck him.
CP3 has been exposed
and I know
as
he's
a
watching.
racist.
Fuck you.
He's been exposed as a racist on social media. He was told he has white privilege. And I think because of his discrimination against a guy with the last name Martinez, he actually does have white privilege.
Nah,
where's the goddamn button?
I'm not rolling with that. I wouldn't let a dude who shops at Rainbow and Hot Topic tell me some shit like that. I'm sorry. That's just not gonna happen.
You're going off the rails in sports. Damn it, normally it's in another
You
time.
racist son of a bitch.
Oh shit.
I love Spanish people.
Do you? You don't like Martinez?
Can we move on? Can we move on?
Oh man! And also starting tomorrow is the Sweet 16, starting at 7 p.m. Y'all know I'm not a big NCAA guy, but I do know that all the top seeds are still in it: Duke, North Carolina, Gonzaga, and Virginia. And I'm going to sit back and enjoy it. If you enrolled in the bracket on Sports and Hill Podcast, I saw some folks doing real good. I'm like in the middle of the pack, but I don't watch, so I'm happy just to have some victories. But Ken, do you watch I know you're probably an NCAA fan, so what have you thought about the tournament?
I have unfortunately not been paying much attention to college basketball this season or the tournament. I was happy to see that Maryland did get out of the first round this year in the tournament.
They should have
won that second game. They should have won that second round matchup, but unfortunately they didn't. Yeah. So even if I was watching, I now have zero interest in it now that Maryland is out. But other than that, I mean, Zion, basically this is just Zion about to win a championship and really boost his draft stock. Because he's going to be gone after this year. There's no way he's staying for a sophomore year. Especially if Duke wins the national championship. He stays for a sophomore year, I will be shocked.
Yeah, I doubt it.
He's going to be a number one pick next this coming draft.
Well, from what I've heard from him, and ironically, I haven't watched him play, but this guy right here actually was watching the game and watching him play. So he actually has some sports knowledge over me.
I watched the whole sports game.
Wow.
I watched two of them. Yeah, I know, right?
Were you sober?
Hitting the button. No.
Okay, not sober. You watched the whole sports game sober?
Not sober at all.
Okay.
I went to visit my homegirl. We were like enemies, like frenemies, kind of like last year.
Okay.
And we cut each other off over something we can't even remember.
Pretty much.
So we started texting again, and then boom, went to hang out with her. Right.
Wait, was she your elephant friend that we had on that? Okay.
No. And by the way, folks, no cheeks. I didn't get anything. I was just hanging out.
Okay.
And so she's a sports fanatic from Pittsburgh, by the way.
Shout out to Pittsburgh.
Shout out to Pittsburgh. And she threw the Duke game on, and I got to see this Zion guy. And Carol, he is on bumpers, yo. Like he's
all
really.
I keep on hearing.
He's like let's say like if like Michael Jordan's grandson had a kid. It's not like wouldn't be like Michael Jordan's kid, but it's like Michael Jordan's grandson. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
You on the right track.
Yeah, he was all over. He was all over the map. I was like, oh my goodness,
that nigga got slave feet.
Yeah, I think that game he went like 13 for 13 or something. I
don't even know what that means, but it sounds great.
That means
he hit every shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it was a great game, and I saw the one after that because I went and hung out with her again. No draws, folks. And so I was like, this dude is really killing it. So I guess is that the new guy?
I think that is the new guy. Like I said, I would be shocked if he stays for a sophomore year. Even if Duke either makes it to the Final Four or wins the national championship, I think Zion goes to the NBA, and he's going to be if he's not a number one overall pick, he's going to be a top 3 pick. Because he's just that good. And he's a freshman.
He's definitely going to the pros, especially after that shoe blowout. another one of those, and that could be his career. So you know he's definitely going to take his talents to the pros. But we'll definitely cover that tomorrow night on the Thursday night show.
Look at that segue.
Yes, we'll be covering that tomorrow night on Sports on the Hill podcast with boxing, NCAA, and some MMA. We got EJ back coming to recap the last couple of months of MMA that we've missed. And we'll probably talk some nationals also. And to wrap up the sports section, we have the NFL draft is right around the corner, less than 30 days. We've had some recent retirements. Gronkowski in New England, he retired. Who else retired over there?
Jordy Nelson.
Yeah, Jordy Nelson retired. I guess, playing for the Raiders will make anybody retire, especially with the craziness they got over there with that overrated John Gruden tearing up their team.
Yo,
so
that's crazy.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the draft because they've accumulated some draft picks by trading away all their best players. So we're going to see if John Gruden can build a team, which he's never been able to do because he rode Tony Dungy's team to get his one Super Bowl and rolled that into his so-called NFL success. But don't get me started on the overrated Grudens. That'll be a whole nother show right there.
And it's the Kyler Murray watch. I'm telling you, he going to Arizona. Y'all think I'm playing? I mean, Kyler Murray is going to Arizona, and Josh Rose is going to be fine.
So they're going to start. They're going to start serving calamari in Arizona.
I think they already do.
Okay, I thought that's what.
I think they already do.
I was like, what in the hell,
guys?
Moving on. Yep. There you go. Put a pause on it. And we don't need to talk about the Wizards because they're trash. They're going to miss the playoffs.
That's why I didn't even
they're going to miss the playoffs. And even if they made the playoffs, I don't even want them to make the playoffs at this point.
That's the best. That's the best sports update ever. Like we're not even going to talk about them because they're trash.
I mean, if they make
Bradley
the playoffs, they would get
okay.
swept by Milwaukee if they made the playoffs as the AC. They get swept.
They're in 11th. Bradley Beal's playing well. They have a decent team, but they, like I always say, they need a veteran presence on that team, and they need to fire Ernie Grunfeld.
Can you turn to your screen and ask Robbie if he's ever eaten from Krispy Kreme?
Is Robbie even still watching? That's
Robbie
my question.
Does eat from Krispy Kreme.
He watches everything.
He was eating dinner when he was watching us before. He was with the
So
fans.
he probably had some Krispy Kreme on the side.
We probably started going too hard, and he had to turn it off in front of his family.
You got to get the Nazi donuts on, son.
Yeah, man.
Can we talk about? Oh, I'm in the button. Can we talk about Krispy Kreme and their Nazi connections? Listen.
No. Can I make one quick point to you guys for those out there watching?
I'm thinking Nazis and donuts, but go ahead.
No, we're not talking about Nazis.
We are.
We can go there, but let's get progressive first.
Okay.
Speaking of progressive, everybody knows I'm the wrestling guy here.
Okay.
It was announced, and this will be talked about more in depth on my podcast this Friday.
Where can you find that podcast at?
On the True Radio Network. Can we hit the button? Yeah. For the first time in the 30-plus year history of WrestleMania, a women's match will be the final match to play out on the biggest stage of wrestling when Ronda Rousey defends the Raw Women's Championship against Becky Lynch and new SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. Again, this is the first time ever. There have been plenty of great women's matches that have happened, but this is the first time that a women's match will be the match that closes out the show and sends everybody home from MetLife Stadium. Wow. So I'm very excited about that. Myself and Donnie Russell, we're going to talk about that very much in depth this coming Friday. I'm excited about it, and there's been a lot of speculation about what this match is going to end up being. We're going to talk about that on Friday. But look at the growth of women's wrestling.
I think it's the perfect, because first off, I used to hate women's wrestling. It was just like to see some cheeks, right? But now,
no, he's not lying.
But now, women's wrestling is actually better than men's wrestling.
It's more technical.
Yeah, it's more technical. People are into it, and people love it. And even though I'm not a big wrestling fan, I still watch the clips online. And that's a move that's made right in the middle of the Me Too era. And I think it's perfect. I think it's the perfect move. And Vince McMahon's a genius. He always has been. Remember when when he started the app, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, you can't take wrestling off of whatever.
Off a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Now everyone's done it afterwards.
Yep. He started a trend. Now you got boxing doing it.
Vince is a goddamn genius. In fact, he worked with our president and done some great shows where they went against each other, where Donald Trump shaved Vince McMahon's head.
I still love when Stone Cold stunned him. I still watch that clip all the time.
Yeah, so
that was the ugliest take of a stunt I've ever seen outside of Linda McMahon, who happens to work in his cabinet, by the way.
But of course, at the end of the day, like Vince McMahon's a genius, and he's showing it again right now. Women's rights era, boom, women finalize WrestleMania. What say you, CP3?
Like you say, a brilliant move. He's a businessman. He's, see what the market wants and see what's going on, and he's capitalized on it. He's been a genius in a market that's been, so-called slumping, with ticket sales and what's been going down, but he's still finding a way to make money and keeping people involved and engaged, and he's a financial genius. And once you got something, that works, why go away from it? This
is a major, major move by the WWE, and like you said, GOP at a time with the Me Too movement and the attempt to uplift more women in this culture, and for them for these three women, one of them being one of the most successful MMA fighters ever, one who comes from a pedigree of wrestling, and one who is basically scratched and clawed her way to where she is now. This is like the ultimate. This is the ultimate pinnacle for all three of these, not just these three women, but for women's wrestling and women in general, to have the spotlight, to have all eyes on them after 4+ hours of wrestling. All eyes are going to be on them, and they have a compelling storyline. So people are going to be watching. That's the one thing people don't understand. People are going to be watching because their storyline is very compelling, and I think it's going to get a lot more compelling, which I'll touch on Friday. But it's going to be it's an amazing move by the WWE. Kudos to the WWE for doing this, and I'm very excited for WrestleMania. I was already pretty excited, but now I'm really excited. And just a side note, this Monday, Raw will be
Damn it, how many side notes you got over there, brother?
Enough. You got notes. I got side notes, nigga. I'm on the side nigga table. Fuck you mean? Anyway, but this coming Monday, Raw will actually be at Capital One Arena. It's the go-home show before WrestleMania. I will be there, and I will do a pre- and post live stream from the event on our No Spots Podcast Facebook page. So make sure you go like that, and, I'll talk my shit there. Anyway, I'm done. Cool.
Donuts and Nazis.
Nice segue.
Where's Sheeta?
Donuts and Nazis.
Where's Sheeta?
She doesn't involve donuts or Nazis. So it turns out that Krispy Kreme just found out, right? Because we all love Krispy. Everybody in the world loves Krispy Kreme.
Of course.
Right.
Mr. Engineer, you like Krispy Kreme donuts?
Of course, he does. Everyone does. Everyone in the world does.
He ain't paying me no mind.
Smart man. Everyone in the world. Everyone in the world.
You don't like Krispy Kreme donuts?
We're doing the show, Ken. Let's chill. I'm segueing.
He doesn't.
I'm segueing.
He doesn't
okay,
like
I'm segueing. When I segue, you let me segue. You know what I'm saying? We don't over talk. Let's do it this way. So Krispy Kreme found out that their family, this is the greatest thing ever, right?
Oh, God.
Their family started as a Nazi family, and they made prisoners of war work their factories. So
this is what you wanted us to segue to.
So, of course, yes, of course. So prisoners of war for the Nazi family helped start Krispy Kreme. This is the greatest story ever, because we all love Krispy Kreme. And for me, I'm not one of those guys I'm not eating Krispy, because people are already up in arms.
Of course.
People are going nuts. They're like, oh my God.
Are they canceling Krispy Kreme already?
I'm not eating Krispy Kreme anymore. We're protesting Krispy Kreme. I'm like, let me tell you, those glazed donuts will never be protested in my head. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Gucci. Like, for example, Gucci, I can't afford Gucci, so I don't buy it. All my stuff is all my stuff is like $30 or less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can find
so it's like we're protesting Gucci. I'm like, well, y'all can't. I never bought it.
I mean, we already are, because we don't buy it.
We don't buy it.
So we've been protesting our whole life.
So, but like Krispy Kreme, let me tell you one thing y'all won't get me on. You will not ever in your life have me protesting Krispy Kreme. I don't care if Krispy Kreme used to have like a donut with a runaway slave around it. Like, I don't care. like it's Krispy Kreme. All right, you know what I'm saying?
So you're not canceling Krispy Kreme?
Never.
Okay.
Never. I will never in my life. When that hot sign is on, like I could say right now. You know what? I'm protesting Krispy Kreme. I could say it right. And I drive by and that motherfucking hot sign is on.
It's all over.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yep.
It's a wrap. Candy's People's Champ.
Sir, yes, sir.
Are you protesting Krispy Kreme because they're Nazi ties?
Not really. I don't really eat Krispy Kreme anyway, but occasionally. I'm just not the cancel dude, man. Because I'm just like, why am I getting butt hurt over something that doesn't affect me?
I mean, if you look at all empires or whatever, it all probably ties to slavery, Nazis, something bad, because most of the billionaire families was built off of either prohibition or whatever, prostitution or whatever. So if you dig deep enough, you're going to find, something bad in the history of something. Next thing you know, they're going to say McDonald's was, behind the A-bomb that blew up the Japanese or some shit.
Which is funny because I actually had a Big Mac and fries earlier, and I think I'm going to drop an A-bomb when I get home.
Oh, man. Drop it.
See how that works?
Perfect. That was perfect.
Deuces in VA.
Yo, folks, we're right here at WLVS Radio, True Radio representing Ken DC People's Champ here with us, CP3 with us. Sheeta P is around, you know what I'm saying? I think she's coming in soon. Folks, okay. Jesse, the Empire guy, cleared of all counts.
I'm a little confused by that.
How's he cleared of 16 grand jury indictments?
That's the part that confuses me. That's the part that confuses me because this whole thing, he concocted this whole thing, and it wasn't like he went to trial and they said not guilty. They didn't even go to trial. They didn't do nothing. He bailed out and they dropped the charges, and I'm trying to figure out what came about that caused him to drop all these charges.
What seemed to have happened, I've been studying this the last day, trying to figure out myself what the hell happened, because to get all of those charges dropped, something went wrong in the evidence gathering. And from what I've been hearing from some of the law people is that with the records being sealed and with him forfeiting his bail, which normally they don't do, but because they put so much time into gathering evidence, that's maybe something in the, we won't say nothing if you let us get the 10,000, take care of it. And him coming out now saying, I've been innocent the whole time and yada, yada, yada. He has that cushion because he knows that those records are sealed. So what I'm thinking with the attorney being linked to the Andrenetti dude or whatever that just got indicted, that was the real cause, because that attorney was representing him. And I'm thinking it was something with the evidence gathering with the information that they got that may be tainted, that is not admissible, is why they probably had to drop the charges. But no one can talk about it because the records are going to be sealed. And since he was never proven guilty, those records never have to see the day of light, because in this country you're supposed to be, innocent until proven guilty. So they're standing on that principle, is why they won't release any of the information and they're just letting it go. But the twist is you got the two Nigerians who said that they put them up to it. So if that's a lie, why aren't they indicted?
Right.
Well, I mean, the records are only sealed until a white woman accuses them of sexual assault.
You know
that's when the records.
He's gay.
White woman, trust me. Okay, I don't care how gay he is. White woman, dude. That's how you break
He's
open.
He's not lying.
You know what I'm saying?
He's not lying. At all, he's not lying. That's why it's so funny, because he is telling the absolute truth.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Joe Budden said it on his podcast that came out this morning that said lawyers are there. Lawyers are people that you have because it's not how they can get you off, but who they know that can get you off.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like in this situation. It's like his lawyer knew somebody, knew something, and that's why they said, you know what?
Exactly. And he had some money for it too. That's why I think I'd like, because, Chicago, we all know the Chicago Police Department is so corrupt. I feel like he just said, look here, have my lawyer talk to whoever they got to talk to. There are rumors that there are political people involved. That's internet rumors. I don't want to spread those.
Yeah.
But they're out there. And you just throw a lot dropped. Around. Because if it was any of us,
we still sitting in the clink.
Ain't no charges getting dropped.
No, we still sitting in the
squares in the cot.
Dog,
Yep.
16 indictments, my nigga.
And he
Who'd you know, yo? Who'd you pay off, yo? Come on. Come on.
I don't know. He got some pictures of somebody doing something. I don't know, man.
Maybe one of them Hollywood parties. I don't, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe one of the guys in there liked pegging and was caught. Okay,
talking to Chewbacca.
Shout out to Chewbacca. Though.
Shout out to Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm coaching her on her show, by the way. She wants to start a show up.
Hey,
I'm coaching her.
Okay. Definitely going to be an interesting show.
I'm not going to listen to it.
You are trash.
I'm not.
You are trash.
I don't want to hear that kind of stuff.
I'll be scarred probably.
Where are we going next, guys? There was somewhere else we had to go. Oh, my baby Cardi B.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I gotta hear this. Are you canceling Cardi now?
Never.
Oh, you gotta be.
You're
out of here.
He's doubling down.
You are out of your fucking mind, dude.
I love Cardi B. I'm gonna hit the button for her ass again. My bitch. Cardi said when she was a stripper, it's a video from I believe about 3 years ago. Yeah. She said when she was a stripper, she used to drug niggas and rob them. Right? So now they're starting I think it's called the Him Too movement, which is hilarious. Thank you, Democrats, for giving us that. But they're starting the Him Too movement. So now everyone's upset at Cardi. Everybody hates Cardi. And
they even have a hashtag that says "Surviving Cardi."
Surviving Cardi B. Yeah, that's out there too. They want a motherfucking lifetime special.
Wow.
Now, I love Cardi B because I'm gonna tell you this. These trick ass niggas out here, let me holler at y'all.
Uh-oh.
These niggas drug and rape women all the time. That's what they do. They get them high or extra drunk or buy them drinks and get them back and maybe put a little Bill Cosby in the drink or whatever and smash them off. Don't be mad when women recognize the game and get y'all niggas first. Don't be mad about it. I'm sorry. You took Cardi to the hotel. You took Cardi to the hotel. Thought she was gonna get her drunk and whatever. Oh, nigga, she got you drunk. And one of the dudes, oh my God, one of the dudes came out and said, Cardi got this nigga drugged up and drunk, and a transsexual came in and fucked him.
Oh
yeah. Oh yep. It's up.
Yo,
everyone, look it up if you want to. I read that earlier today.
I don't need to know about that.
At the end of the day, game recognizes game, and Cardi B got y'all niggas. She was a stripper. Let me tell you, I partied, and I posted this earlier. I partied with lots of strippers and hoes back in my day, right? How many? Come on, y'all. How many of them do you think gave me a drink? 0. Fucking 0. What do you mean a woman drugged you and took it? Are you crazy, dog? CP3. A man who's with strippers all night long. Who's with strippers every 2 hours.
Well, you do security, you're in some of those situations, What can I do? A job is a job, and a job has to be done. I'm kind of had the same feeling as you. I've partied with strippers. Not saying there's nothing wrong at all.
Go to find
Yo, edit it again. Okay, all right, yo, that's
this
crazy.
nigga taken over by the buzz. The buzzer is going crazy. He done killed the buzzer tonight. But I mean, like you said, dudes do it all the time to women, and the fact that she flipped it on them. I mean, like you say, I haven't taken a drink from a stripper. I party with strippers all the time, but I keep my bottle with me. Even if I'm in a regular restaurant, I keep my bottle with me. I cover my drink when I go to the bathroom. You never know who might walk by or whatever. So, I mean, you can't play victim now. You was trying to get some ass. You was ready to spend some money. So, and then you didn't. Yeah, that's the cost to play the game, baby.
And before I go to Kendi's people's champ, the button thing.
That threw me all the way off.
Yeah, I'm so not involved.
That threw me all the way off. That's crazy.
CP3 was like, I partied with strippers. I was like,
what is that? A lie detector button? Did it go off because CP3 was telling lies? That's like a street nigga to tell lies.
Gotta protect the guilty, baby, because nobody innocent.
Oh my God. But I would say this too, the dude out there crying like he was forcefully, I don't know, drugged and raped by a transgender woman with Cardi B around, there was just some transgender just hanging out in the hallway. I'm like, dog, you were into that. Don't try to turn around and get to the bag now.
Oh man.
Kendi C. People's Champ, help us out here.
I think I'm in the minority here on this one, because I mean, regardless of who it is or what gender it is, the shit is wrong regardless. I mean, and I just I don't like the whole the cancel culture thing, because had Cardi B not become a mega music star, would anybody give a shit about this? You don't even have to answer this. I can answer for you. No, they wouldn't. Facts. No one would care. No one would care. There are strippers, both male and female, doing this on a regular basis in everyday lives. Ain't nobody talking about it. But now, because there's a megastar who just won Best Rapper, who's won Best Hip Hop Artist of the Year, just won a Grammy, who's hot as fish grease out here now, they go back and dig up something she said from a few years ago about what she was doing in a past life, and now all of a sudden they want to bring it out. But it's still wrong. It's still wrong.
It's wrong.
It's still wrong. It's wrong, but at the same time, it's understandable. I'm not lying either, so you can chill.
The button have a brain of his own tonight.
Listen, man. But no, I mean, it's just... Listen, man. This is going on all the time. If anybody wants to use this story as a teachable moment to let people know that this is going on both ends, both men and women. Well, it's not just women being date raped. Now, obviously, there are men being date raped, but most men won't admit it because they don't want to seem pussy, and that's wrong.
This is a rape culture in this country anyway. Women's, they don't even get me started on that. I have this debate all the time when folks post the
rape culture.
Yeah, folks talk about the illegal immigrants. Someone that killed a white woman and yada yada. They put the stories up, they blast that, but I'm like, you got white men killing white women every day in this country, and y'all don't give two fucks. But when a brown person does it, we got to build a wall, this and that. So this country has never treated a woman equally, or valued a woman their true value. So if they get killed, tossed away, whatever, they like, that family is hurt, but everybody, there's another white woman that gets killed. Another black woman just get killed. Once lives get truly devalued and undervalued in this country, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, being right here, and speaking of that situation, being right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., there's so many black women that have been missing from the nation's capital.
Yes.
And it's like, you'll see a picture one day, or maybe on the news, but mostly on Facebook or social media, and then it's gone. You never hear about it again. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're looking for somebody. All right, we gotta move this thing. This thing's going crazy. I think it's my vibrations that are setting it off. But you never see the kind of news you see when, not to be whatever, but when a young white girl goes missing, it's like, oh my God, Amber Alert every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? It's just this thing. All these black women that are missing from DC, you see it. Like I say, you might see a picture, and then that's that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a whole different culture behind it, the way the media handles it, the way the media carries it. And and maybe now that I'm thinking about it, CP3, maybe we should do more on our end to talk about those missing young black women. But it's terrifying.
It is. It's when you look at the news, and actually on the channel you were looking for the other night, Discovery ID, they having a special from like the 1960s in Atlanta, where like 23 kids were killed and nobody ever knew who did it or who was behind it. I'm going to watch that. I think it comes on this week. I'm going to check it out. But yeah, it's
Discovery ID, you owe us some sponsorship. We just we just advertised you, okay?
And we watch religiously.
Jesus. Yes, because I never get enough of watching crazy white men kill white women. I never get enough of it.
It's on every hour of the day on that channel, boy. I tell you, that and the Lifetime channel is the most violent channel on television, because somebody's always getting killed, kidnapped, murdered, raped, or something. So when women say they watch a Lifetime channel, I always look at them and ask them,
Let me tell you my Lifetime story. I dated.
Oh, damn. I was just getting ready to just jump in when you mentioned the missing black women.
Oh, yeah. Hop on that real quick.
The missing black women. Here's a name right here that was talked about for quite a bit, but no one talks about anymore, that's been missing for 5 years now. Relisha Rudd. Yeah. 8 years old, gone. 5 years later, still hasn't been found. No one's talking about it.
Well, they actually did a report. I did see a report on, I think it was Fox 5, where they revisited because I think they spoke to one of the family members or something. So they're still talking about it. Folks are still, it's not, like you say, the groundswell where it's on the news every day, but there are grassroots campaigns that are still looking for her and other children and then folks that's missing in this area. It's just too bad, like you say, that we don't get the same press and pub when a young white woman goes missing. Amber Alert is on the news 24/7. She's been missing for 13 days now. Where could she be? But you don't hear that about, people of color, brown, black, whatever. When you see somebody say an Asian person missing. But they always blasting, white woman, white dude, It's just, I'm not complaining because I'm used to it. It's what this country is. So, it is what it is.
Hey, don't insult my country, Carol.
I'm just saying. I just see it for what it is. But like you said, we should start doing more on that angle.
Maybe we should.
Yeah, we definitely going to talk off air about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off air. I have no idea where I was going to go because we just dragged the entire fun of the show down.
We
talk about missing black children.
Did you want to take a quick break or you want to?
No. We can wrap this up. Right. Where we at?
We got another 10 minutes.
Yeah, another 10 minutes. All right. Yeah, we can't take a break. We got another 10 minutes left. Guys, excuse me.
That mountaineer.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually a little under the weather. And sheets. Michelle Obama is on her way towards having the highest selling book of all time.
Hey,
memoir.
She's almost there. It's very close, and conservatives are freaking out, even though they're the ones actually buying the book.
Buying and reading it.
Yeah, even though they're the ones mainly because us liberal folks, we just kind of steal it offline.
That's crazy.
But like, so conservatives are freaking out that Michelle Obama's on track to having the highest selling memoir ever in the history of the world.
Yeah, but
right?
why? Why are they so upset?
They should be, because they're upset at anything. And when they're upset at the Democratic Party or the Democratic process, it keeps the eye off of
what they're doing.
Us really being upset at Trump,
yeah,
right? I know that tactic. Bush Republican right here. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. I know how it works. Mm-hmm. So we just go, Obama, Hillary.
Yep.
Obama, Hillary.
Yep.
Oh, you want to ask me about me taking money from these programs to build my wall? What about Hillary's emails?
Mm-hmm.
When do we talk about that? And that's where we're stuck at. And so, but I think that I'm really happy that Michelle Obama's getting that cheese, whatever she's going to donate it to, whatever she's going to do, and and having the highest selling memoir of all time. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And people are surprised about me being excited about it, but I am.
Because you're a conservative, that you would always want to hate anything Democratic.
I'm black. How about that?
I'm about to say.
It's right there, black GOP, okay? All right, I don't care if I'm conservative. Black woman, highest selling memoir, Obama, bingo.
No doubt. Yeah, that is very impressive. I haven't read the book, but I didn't steal it offline either. But that's impressive, for first time, putting it out there and I heard it some good information in there. They actually had somebody reviewing it on one of the local stations and said it was a good read. It has some very insightful stuff in there, and it's definitely going to be a good book for young black women, to help them, see that there's a bigger and better future than what they see, on TV, shaking their ass and all that other stuff that's out here polluting the airways. At least there's a positive message circulating at, the highest rate that it ever has before. So you can guarantee that hopefully there was some birthday gifts or Christmas gifts they were giving to some young little girls. If not, I know I'll be passing those along to my nieces because they could use as much positive, reinforcement as they can get.
I think chapter 7 should be, it should cost more than $40. Candy C People's Champ.
Oh my God!
I'm not sure where you went
listen.
with that one.
Michelle Obama proved throughout the 8 years of the Obama presidency that she was the epitome of style and grace and what an African American woman can be when pushed and focused and wanting to, to achieve things. And I think that, like you guys said, this book right here should be a book that all young African American women should strive to purchase and read to learn from someone like Michelle and learn about overcoming whatever pitfalls that may come about in order to achieve what you need to achieve. Because there are a lot of young women out here nowadays. Like I said, it goes back to the whole, young black women going missing, and a lot of young black women falling into these sex traps and these sex trafficking rings, and falling into all of these pitfalls and not knowing a way to get out and not having the support to get themselves out. So I think a book like this, not only is it a great accomplishment for Michelle, but I think it's a great testament and a great tool that we can use to arm all of our young African American women to be able to rise up and be able to face whatever pitfalls they have and be able to face them, conquer them, and look back and say, I went through that and I made it. Period. That's what I see from this is, it's going to be that's going to be a tool that is going to definitely help a lot our new generation of African American women branch out, branch up, and rise up. Period.
You know what I wish? You know what I wish? Could you imagine? This would be a funny scenario, and just because like everyone's lost confidence in the election system, and especially right now, I mean, on one end you got Trump. On the other end, one end you got Trump and Pence. The other end you got Pelosi and Schumer. It's just like, who cares? Like, what the fuck? So, like, I wished that Michelle Obama would have ran. She said she's never going to do it. By the way,
it would get so dirty.
But that would
my God, yes, it would.
That would put Barack as the first husband, or whatever.
That would be a first.
And if she ran with Hillary, just for shits and giggles, that would put Bill Clinton in as the vice husband, and you just have the whole squad. Like, that would just to piss everybody off.
That would be dope.
Because at this point, like, politics are terrible. Trust me, I read and watch this trash all day long. It's disgusting, The Mueller report. I'm just gonna go really fast on that before we close out.
But before you can I go to a bright spot before you go into all that?
Sure. It's gonna be quick.
That's politically motivated. Your boy Mike Pence.
That's
your boy. If Trump my boy, Pence your boy.
That's my nigga. Pence is my nigga.
Why is he trying to go back to the moon?
Dude, we got to go to the moon.
Why? We've been there. Why?
To set the Space Force up. What is your problem? How do you not know that?
If that's why they go,
we're going to the moon to set the Space Force up.
We are all doomed, man.
You're damn right we are. You're damn right we're all doomed.
Well, that's all I got.
What's wrong with that? We're all doomed.
He was like angry, like
yeah.
They said it would
gotta go to the moon, nigga.
2029, but that's not
right.
soon enough. We need to be there.
We need tomorrow. We need to go to the moon now.
Bruh.
Someone fly one of those fucked up planes up to the moon. The ones that keep crashing and killing people. Anyway, guys, we got to get out of here. The Mueller report was trashed really fast. Like, there's nothing in there. Everyone eat a dick. Sorry, guys. Thank God I don't have to hear, like, any Democrats I argue with. Like, well, we'll just wait for the Mueller report. Like, there's nothing in there. There's no collusion. Eat a dick. Thank you. Candy see people's chat. Where can they find you?
That's funny. They can find me on Twitter at DC's People's Champ. You can also follow the No Spots Podcast Twitter page at True No Spots Pod. That's TRU No Spots Pod. And you can follow my co-host Donnie Wrestling at DWrestling73. And we're on Facebook, Facebook.com/NoSpotsPod. You can catch us at 9 p.m. every Friday night on the True Radio Network, as well as replays on Jet Radio.
Yes, sir.
CP3, we're going to take another 55 minutes. Where can they find you, bro?
Oh, bro, you can find me tomorrow night on Sports in the Hill Podcast on True Radio Network at 9 o'clock, talking boxing, MMA, NCAA, Nationals talk. You can catch us Monday night for our anniversary show, our 3-year anniversary going into season 4 from 7 to 9. You can hashtag CP3 to 3 eyes, not the number 3. It'll all come up. Sports OTHP, True Radio Network, Sports OTHP Apparel, Beats by CP3, Sports OTHP Entertainment, Sports OTHP Home Improvement. It just continues to grow.
When the fuck did he start a home improvement company? I got a tour I need you to look at tonight.
I'm telling you, next week he's going to be CP3 transportation out of this bitch.
Jesus Christ. Check us out at TrueRadioNetwork.com, folks. Check me out at BlackGOP.com. That's BLKGOP with all the hashtag. And all this monkey business will pop up. You'll see these fellas on there, too, as many as other people, too. So, guys, we're out of here. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy yourselves.
Holla.
Shout out to Jet Radio.
Yes, sir.